Hey guys, welcome to Who's Sitting at Your Table. Today's episode is It's Heart to Heart with no fluff, no filters, just real talk and a messy magic. And it's all about mindset and how we help ourselves rise. Let's get on to the chit chat.
TP, what you been up to?
I've been just busy with work, right? And my niece is in the hospital right now. I'm about to be great again, a great auntie. And
Congrats.
she's still not, baby's not here yet. They had to do, give her Pitocin, and you know how that is about the Pitocin, that pain.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she told me when she didn't want to do epidural, but I think my sweet, sweet niece is going to do epidural.
Good for
So
her. Oh my
we're
goodness, well,
waiting
keep
for
us
baby.
posted. Like the whole birth
Yes.
plan, the whole plan should
You
be like, I'm
start
going
with
to go to
one
the
plan, it
hospital
just
and
goes
come
out the
back with a
window.
baby. I want to come
Yes,
back with a baby.
exactly. That's the goal, right?
That's
Come back
exciting
with the baby.
though. That's
Yeah, it is
So
exciting.
so in
It's
our
gonna be
family,
a little girl. It's gonna be a little girl.
in
Her
our,
name's gonna be Presley. Presley.
in
Isn't
our
that a cute
family,
name?
you'd be called a really great, like you're the really
Really
great
great.
aunt.
Yeah. Well, I'm becoming even greater.
Oh, I love it.
What's going on
I
with
love
you? What did
that.
you have? How was
I'm
your?
just going to say that this episode is sponsored by Ketos. It's been a
Cheers, girls.
hectic
Cheers.
week.
Cheers.
It's been a hectic
Cheers.
week, but I will tell you this. Cheers. I will tell you this. Hectic week, hectic work wise, just like personal business and everything. But Toni, I want to say that I have been doing gratitude every day. And one of the things I
Yay.
added to my whole gratitude process is I am writing one thank you note a day to someone
Awesome.
who has done something kind or that I just want to acknowledge in my life. So I'm feeling good about that, and I'm feeling good in general. But I definitely my brain feels fried. I think that's enough about me, honestly. Sue, I was seeing posts about goats. What was your weekend? What was going on with your weekend? What happened? That sounded cool, but I want to hear more.
Yeah, my heart is so full after this weekend. You have no idea. It was action packed in the best possible way. So every year, every summer, I go up to Michigan. I'm an auntie to a 9.5-year-old Ingrid and to twin boys that will be 5 coming up on the 21st, little Leo babies, Reed and Cole, and 2 of my dearest friends, Brent, aka Deisher and Nikki. And I go every summer. So this summer we kicked it off visiting a company called Dream Goats. And that was kind of like they had seen the goats in May when they were babies. And so I wanted to go see the goats. So we went and they're bigger and there were so many goats. Like I didn't realize how crazy.
Hold on a second. What's a dream goat?
Well, that's the name
there
of
a
the
definition?
company. That's the name of the
Oh,
company.
got
Dream
it.
Goats. Yeah.
I didn't know if that you meet them and they have some sort of magic thing, and then all of a sudden you're having some fabulous dreams, you know?
Yeah, no, they're it's the name of the company. And so we were in a relatively small area, I thought, considering how many goats there were. I didn't realize they're batshit cray. Okay. They are immediately eating my bracelets, my necklaces. I'm trying to take a picture.
Yeah, they'll eat
They're eating
anything.
my hair. One of them, which I found out later was a only child, pushed me off the platform. Thank God I was paying attention.
Oh my God.
And
it was like, hey, you're not the queen. I'm the queen of the rock.
Yeah, no. And I found out later it's an only child and she is pushy and bossy. And then they heard you and it was just nuts. It was just so much fun. And so we also got to feed the babies. And I fed this little one, Blaze, with the twins. We're helping feed Blaze. And crazy enough, he would not leave my side. I mean, it's like chaos. And every time I looked down, little Blaze was there and he was so quiet and mellow. I'd be petting him and then other ones would be jumping on me. It was ridiculous. And then we were able
to time on you.
Oh no, they're nuts. And then we took it was in the evening, which was perfect weather there in Michigan. And we went on a walk with them and it was so fun because they'd go running down the path and then they'd stop and eat the trees and eat all the vegetation, all except for one little guy, Woody, who he was still recovering from a surgery. So he was all drugged up and he's just like, I'm just going to plop down here and wait for everyone to eat and then I'll come back. And so we were helping him out, but it was just one of those things that just fills your cup up with joy. But then the rest of the weekend was whirlwind preparation for my friend's annual summer concert in her backyard. She has this amazing flat backyard. And
wait, and there's a name for it, right?
We don't have a name for the concert. Actually, we should probably have one, but
yeah, you need one.
Yeah, we'll have to do that because it's an annual thing she does. And I went 2 years ago. And so
every year you go back, you attend this concert.
Well,
in the
last year I
backyard.
didn't. 2 years ago I
Okay.
had. And last year it just didn't work out with the timing. And now this year. And so it features our incredibly sweet and talented Brendan James, accompanied by Craig Meyer. I heard them 2 years ago. And then I was fortunate to hear Brendan again in May. Nikki invited me up for a gala and he performed, and that morning we actually went out to breakfast and had some really nice quality time with him, and sweetest guy on the planet. And so they came, we had like 100 people. It was nuts. And we like have tables set up and food and drinks.
What kind of music?
It's like storytelling music. He's on Spotify, and he came out,
right platform.
He came out with his 6th album in January. This is Chasing Life.
Is that the shirt? Tell us about that shirt.
Yes.
Show us. What is that?
So they bring merch with them. So they were up on tour in the area, and he brought his family. And so I got to meet his wife, Curry. The kids, they're adorable. And so they were all.
What are their kids' names? Because Curry's a cool name too. What?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. So we had Penny and Milo, and they're beautiful kids. And they were just so fun, and they're so helpful. And so they sell the merch. And so, of course, in the beginning of the night, they get there early to set up, and we go through the box and we're like, oh no, we're taking our stuff out first, what we want. So we all got the cool hoodies. So, so like I said, there's like 100 people. The energy was amazing. The kids really brought a lot of great energy with their dancing and whatnot. But here is awesome fact. Put it on your calendar, September 4th, they're going to be on Good Morning America. And this is huge. Yeah, because they don't do a lot of like marketing and publicity stuff. And so mine's recorded. They're super talented. I just adore them to pieces. So that was a lot of fun.
And
of course,
I'm sure our 6 subscribers will be all on board.
Exactly. All 6.
I'm just kidding. I think that is fabulous. I love it. And I'm definitely going to tune in to,
so Brendan James.
I want to listen to them and storytelling. I've never heard that genre. I've never heard
all the music is super personal. And so he's got a beautiful song about his wife. They're 17 years together. I mean, it is just, it's all moving. I feel blessed to have to know them. But here, Nikki, the host, being the generous soul that she is, she always ties a nonprofit into the concert. So if you want to donate, you can. So this year, she was explaining to me, it was one local there in Grand Rapids. It's called Day One Doula Collective. What they do is they support Black women with perinatal education care. They focus on safety advocacy. They have their own individual doulas helping them with their babies. And so,
birthing doulas.
Mm-hmm. And it's huge because it's just started too. So this woman just started, but what we were doing was we were raising money for, it's called the community shower. So all their under-resourced moms can come receive baby gifts. They have a photo booth. It's basically like they're having a shower with all these other women. So we raised almost $3,000 right now. I'm following her on Facebook, following the organization. Kiara Baskin is the founder, such a powerhouse. I mean, she is a legit 501c, but it's all brand new. This is all just up and coming. And so it was really sweet that we were able to raise money for her. So that was, and we'll every year, like I said, she picks someone different. Brendan James, he's on Spotify. So I just, follow him on there, just like you do your podcasts. And then if that wasn't enough action, Nikki, Ingrid, and I drove to Detroit. And we had dinner. Well, we took a nap. Then we had dinner, and we took Miss Ingrid to Katy Perry because she had been wanting to see Katy Perry for months.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So this was her big wish. She had been counting down the days forever, but listen to this. And this was probably the most heartwarming part of it all. You guys will appreciate this. Keep in mind, she's 9.5, and she wore a full body shark costume the entire time. We're walking down the streets of Detroit. She was walking down
who wore that? The Ingrid did, or
Ingrid, the 9.5-year-old wore it, right? Yeah. And so she's walking down like a boss, and everyone, the attention she was getting was incredible. Into dinner, she had it on. I mean, her confidence blew me away. And, it
That's
really,
awesome.
it's a huge testament to some awesome parenting because she doesn't care. I mean, there was probably only 4 sharks in the whole entire stadium that we saw. And she was so proud. And so she was
Right?
adorable. People were stopping her to take pictures with her. And it was incredible. So during dinner, I found out that I'm like the fun, energetic, and crazy auntie. So of course, at the end of the night, I had to live up to my reputation, and I put her shark costume on. And we were in the room playing, and Nikki came out of the bathroom, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you are a nut." I mean, clearly it didn't fit me very well. I mean, it started at my knees. This little shark costume.
I love that.
So
That's
yeah,
cute. I'm sure you got pictures you're going to share.
lots of pictures, tons of pictures. I mean, and to top it off, Nikki's badass too. So she decided to wait a while to get the tickets because we knew it wouldn't be sold out. And it was like a figure 8 stage. So the seats were 4 rows up in the middle of the figure 8 in VIP. We like literally walked down to this lounge and there was like no one in line to get a drink. We're like, wait a minute, these are our seats. It was awesome. So it just topped it off to have
That's
like
great.
an awesome view. So I'm recovering from that weekend, as you can imagine. So,
Winning
yeah.
I forgot to add.
Actually,
Sorry.
that's a weekend winning episode.
Yeah, that's
I'd
a winning
say.
weekend. Yes. I forgot to add though, just to kind of piggyback off the dream goats, the dream thing.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, I went, my girl, Sandra B, took me to movies and a dinner, and we went to see Formula One, the one with Brad Pitt.
Yep.
And so I don't dream a lot, but I had a dream of Brad Pitt. It's not the kind of dream that you think.
Hear it if it's not the dream that I'm thinking.
Let me tell. So she texted me the next morning, saying, "Oh my God, it was such a fun time, hanging out with you." I go, "Yeah." I had a dream about Brad Pitt. She's like, "Ooh, do tell." I had a dream that I was like, quick, get me in front of Brad. I want to get a picture so I can post it on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, Toni, you're so funny.
And I go, the podcast, they're going to love it.
That might help boost our
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's not the right dream, but yeah, I'm going
so
crazy.
Funny. I love it. Oh my
That is hilarious. Anyways, all right, enough of that.
All right.
Oh my God, I guess we should get to the actual podcast.
Yeah. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to step in and let everybody know that today we're talking about the reset moments. These are the ones you don't post about. It's kind of like the burnout, the breakdowns, the what am I even doing with my life spirals, and the small wins that slowly brought us back.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get caught up, right, in the hustle and the overthinking, the doing for everyone, but we've each found little rituals, real doable things that have helped us reclaim our peace, our energy, and honestly, our joy.
Yep. So, as I know that we all have grabbed our drinks, grab your wine, your cocktail, your favorite beverage of choice, take a deep breath and pull up a seat, people. Tito's. I said that. That's definitely cheese.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the mindset shifts. And honestly, I feel like it's a work in progress for me, but these rituals and the reminders we wish someone would have told us sooner.
Right. I mean, it's not about being perfect, right? It's about being present, choosing peace over and over again. So,
yeah,
let's rise, reset.
This is rise and reset. Let's go. Woo.
Let's rise and let's go. Let's go, cheese. Let's go, Sue.
All right.
Sue, do you want to hit it? You want to hit it first? Hit it, lick it, quit and spit it.
Who, me?
Well, each of us wants to share a special moment, a time where we hit a wall, and emotionally, mentally, and physically, we come out of it a certain way. So let's talk about a time. I know we're going to get a little personal here, and it's going to be kind of digging into some things. So let's talk about that. Who wants to go first? Don't everybody jump in right away.
I'll go first.
Sure.
I think you guys both know that I struggled to conceive. The first time I got pregnant with Jason, it was about 5 years into our relationship. We were trying, and I had an ectopic pregnancy that I kind of collapsed and I lost one of the tubes. So we went to a specialist, and she's, your remaining tube or your body, like they look like they're on crack, right? So it's not, this is the fluffy, nice one. And this is the one that's like, yay, yeah. So, we went through in vitro, and we're very fortunate. Out of 4 attempts to get pregnant, I got pregnant every time, but Addison came out of the second time. So that little girl was a frozen embryo on a shelf, and she just clawed her way into reality. And she is, thank you, science, just an amazing, amazing human. But we thought we would be okay with no matter what life sent our way. And it could have been no kids, but we made 4 attempts, and the 4th one was the one that was the most destructive. and that, I ended up having another ectopic, but it was something called like a corneal ectopic. It like the embryo slipped back undetected into my other tube. And one day I was not feeling so great. I had my husband at the time. My parents were out of town, but we had his dad at the house, my grandmother at the house, our nanny at the house because we were going to be working. And our friend Brandy came over to nanny share. And so she had her kids there and I wasn't feeling well. And I thought like, God, why am I so not feeling well? And I'm just going to go to bed. And I felt almost lazy in that approach, but I ended up collapsing and almost dying. And thankfully, Brandy saved my life because Jason was more the type of person to say, oh, put some dirt on it, she'll be fine. And Brandy was like, this is serious, called 911. I had 2 units of blood left in my body when this happened. And before this happened, I was black and white. So as far as mindset detox and unlearning, and it's been a journey, but I was like right and wrong, black and white. It's a yes, it's a no. And after this, where I had to have transfusions to survive, the doctor didn't, like usually you don't survive a corneal ectopic. 2 units left in my body. The doctor was running me into surgery and gave me a transfusion before we even started because it was awful. After that, I really felt gray. I felt gray area. I was leaning in towards that. I felt black and white can kiss my ass. I had always felt I'd do things one way or the other. And something about that made me kind of turn gray. I felt really good about this too. Things aren't so serious one way or the other.
It's like a life-changing moment. People say when some people almost die or they died or came back, their experience changed who they are and how they believe life to be, right?
Right.
That's
And I've been through surgeries before. I've been through many. I've had a lot of girl part issues. There was always the kind of pain that was like, ouch, it doesn't feel good. Surgeries always felt like I'm on the mend. This was the one time where I was like, is this the last time I'm going to watch that TV show? Like I was seeing people who had their, you just went through this too. I can't think of it right now.
Hysterectomy.
A hysterectomy. Get up and walk, like they were sharing a room with me and get up and 2 days later they're going to the bathroom and I was 5 days of feeling like death. I did not know that I was going to survive this. Jason in particular, the rub some dirt on it guy, I was like, if people call and ask how I'm doing, do not tell them I'm okay. I do not feel okay. Like I was scared, like for the first time in my life.
You thought you were going to probably die.
I thought I was going to die. I was
Yeah.
throwing up blood even after the surgery. I didn't feel like I was on the mend. And it was because it had a heartbeat and the IVF doctor did not track my blood work after she lost the heartbeat. And she would have easily caught this and prevented it. And so that was disappointing too, because I'm not the type of person to put anyone on blast like that or feel that way. I honestly don't believe in that. I think it's collaboration. You work together, you do the best you can. But I literally almost died from this. And so in my mind, I went from like feeling like everything can be black and white to fuck that. And it literally guided me. And I don't even think that it guided me the way I'll tell you probably later on. It's full circle. I'm back to more like black and white is guiding me. Like it's weird that like the things that you go through, because gray did not end up being my go-to, or I ended up feeling more like selfish in a gray mentality, kind of like, if that makes sense. And
elaborate more.
So anyway,
elaborate more on how you felt selfish about being in the gray.
I felt the black and white, the right and wrong, all of that. I just kind of trended towards being a little bit more, I think, selfish in choices that I made about, and maybe that was a combination of that and just living life to its fullest and not getting caught up in right and wrong, or not getting caught up in black and white, but black and white kind of was a guiding way for me to discern integrity and decision making and things like that. So who knows? And I think I'm still a work in progress, but that was a catalyst definitely for me. Kind of, it was absolute. I went from being like, this is the way of the world. That you're doing the right thing or you're not. It's in a simple way. It's like, you get to the gym. This is the good thing about that. Get to the gym and that's a yes. You don't get to the gym, that's a no. The gray area was like, the gym is a part of my life. I'm going to get to the gym. If I happen to sleep in or cuddle my significant other, or I'm sick one day, I'm going to get back to the gym because the gym's a part of my life. So in some ways, gray was good for me because it wasn't so, you're like for
this or
sure
that.
going to the
Right.
gym.
Yeah.
And if you don't go to the gym, that's it. You failed
Right.
and you're not going to the gym anymore because you failed that. You know, like it really worked for me to transition in some ways to this more gray
I
way
find that
of
the gray
living.
area for me, because I kind of sit in the gray and I really don't like the shades. Why can't it be purple? Right. So, anyways, but for me, that middle ground, I guess I'll call it, is gentleness to yourself, kindness to yourself, allowing yourself forgiveness. Don't be so hard on yourself. Now, some people need a kick in the ass because they stay in the gray way too long, right? But for the
Right.
most part, I think we all need to be good to ourselves. Self love is first love. And I think a lot of people don't do that for themselves. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm just going to call it purple. For me, it's purple, right? I don't like that word gray, but it is what it is, right? It's the middle ground, right? Whatever that is for you, the middle ground. I
Right.
think it's okay to be in the middle ground because you shouldn't be so far right, far left.
Right.
I'm a middle person, right? So I'm all about that middle thing. And I'm glad that you kind of found that in there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you
I think,
needed that for yourself.
yeah, in some ways, I think gray got me into a good place when I needed to be there, and purple or whatever has evolved in that I think I can hold my head high
Hmm.
now. Decisions I'm making, while they might not be black white, that I feel really like I can transition into a place
You
where I can
came out of
be
it a different person, you
proud.
know?
Yeah, I came out of a different person, but I've evolved, and I think
Yes,
that journey
that's what we want.
is a worthy journey, and I'm not looking back on any of it with regret. Like I said, I learned from the decisions I've made. I can learn from mistakes, or I can say, yeah, that was a good choice, but it was scary in that moment. And I think that was like a catalyst for me. It changed the path of my relationship with my husband. Honestly, I went to
Even with
therapy and
yourself,
I,
even with
I was
yourself,
kind of, I went through some anger and stuff like
life
that.
changing. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, thank you. This goes out to Brandy. I tell Brandy Grant this all the time. She was there to call 911. I would not have
You
survived. I
saved
had
your
2 years
life.
left in my
Queen.
body.
What a queen,
We
Brandy.
love Brandy.
Shout out to you, queen.
And this, I try to see her and her husband, Kevin. I absolutely adore them both. And I try to take down their son in ping pong whenever I go out to the Bay Area. They've got 2 great kids, Hayden and Parker, but Hayden's the one that is really into ping pong. And yeah, I try to crush his soul. I've had one time where I visited and I won, and one time where he won. So we'll see what the next time brings us. But
Yep. Let's see.
thank you,
Yep.
Brandy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell
Two out of
Brandy.
three. Two out of three.
Yeah, tell Brandy
Yeah.
hi for me when you do see her next.
Well, we'll do a shout out to her. Maybe we can get her convinced to get on the podcast.
Yeah.
I would love that.
But yeah, for me, mine is not obviously yours is like a life or death thing, right? Mine was more of evolving in my life. When we evolve, it's like a cocoon to a butterfly, essentially. I actually really truly learned to love myself. I was in my 50s and I loved myself, but I didn't understand what true love for yourself really meant. And sometimes we feel guilty to be a little selfish and love ourselves and choose ourselves. Sometimes we're taught not to be, oh, don't be selfish kind of thing. It was coming out of my marriage, right? So
Yeah.
my last marriage, I chose a man who I did love, but I also chose in a way where this girl who was vibrant, who had sass, who put others before her, got into a relationship. I'm not saying it was all bad, but it was one sided. And I was constantly giving, and I kept feeling empty and disconnected until finally I decided to, you were along that ride with me on the Cup Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was talked about a lot because I didn't want to give up on a marriage. I didn't want to have a second ding on my belt, of another divorce. I tried all angles to try to save it, whether it be let's go to the church and talk to the pastor. Let's go to a therapist, which we did. Let's turn to a Kaiser who had like this couples like sort of counseling type thing. Everything, reading books, whatever. I tried a lot of things, and a lot of my close friendships. You guys were a part of this ride with me, right? Sue was in my Cup Club at Cheese. You weren't in my Cup Club, but you were there for me. You and Jason were there, emotionally and mentally there while I was trying to figure that out. It was my job to figure it out. You guys just stood there as a support system and never tried to tell me what I should or shouldn't do, which I love you guys and appreciate you guys for that. But eventually I had gotten the nerve to step up and stand up and choose me first. Also, I had Josh, and he was only 5 at the time when I did leave, but I didn't want to disappoint my little boy of going through the divorce. So I did eventually choose to go through a divorce. And so that I could be a healthier, better person for me, but then for the rest of my family. Right. And so when I did do that, I cannot not tell you how much weight lifted off of my shoulders, how freeing it was. The girl, the spirit, and everything came back. Right. And, there were other things that had happened that kind of knocked me down, but I was more stronger than I'd ever been, ever, as a woman. And I chose me, and I wasn't about to just jump into a bunch of relationships. Yeah, I kind of maybe dabbled a little bit in the beginning, but then I just stopped. And I said, no, this is about you and your family, and that's it. Me, my family, my career, right? And my friendships, of course, my close friendships. And I got to tell you, the thing that I got out of it was stronger and belief system in myself. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the rituals we use from the stuff that we went through, right? But for now, the divorce, I left in 2011. The divorce officially happened in 2014. But I had rituals that I had done, and we'll talk about that. I'll just tie it into this later because I want Sue to have a chance to talk about her stuff. But I have to say, it made me so much stronger, and self-love was so imminent that I felt like a butterfly. I truly felt stronger than I've ever been, no matter all the circumstances of tragedies that I've had since.
Right. No, I agree.
This made me get through it all.
Right. Nope. And I saw that whole transformation happen. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you're right. Yeah. You did come out stronger.
Yeah.
We're happy.
So what about you?
We've always been a compelling human. I see that transformation definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
so you must have a story too.
Mine's probably the lamest of all, but I'm just trying to think.
Don't say
There's
that.
No such thing. No such thing.
Kidding. So, the first thing that popped.
Wait, have another drink because you just said that. You have to have another drink.
All right. No, we got to drink. Hey, we got to drink every time we put ourselves down. How about that? Yeah. In the midst of it all.
Yes. One of the things that came to my head thinking about a time I was emotionally, mentally, actually, and physically low was it was December 2020, and I had come down with COVID, and I didn't realize I had it, because I was in California, and I ended up figuring out I had it when I was in Mexico. So talk about emotional, mental, my anxiety was through the roof, thinking, OMG, I'm in Mexico. I have COVID. I can't smell. I can't taste. I'm not hungry. All I did was sleep. I have to get out of here. And so I went home after 2 days of sleeping, and I was home alone in my bed. I left the dogs with the sitter, and it was interesting to see who showed up and who did the complete opposite and bailed. And so it was very eye-awakening to me, right? There was judgment on me for having COVID, totally ridiculous. Unfortunately, the women I was rooming with in Mexico could care less. They're like, we just want you to be safe and get out of here, be happy and healthy. And so I spent 2 weeks in bed by myself, but I had people bringing stuff, because I have allergy induced asthma. So, that kicked in later, or something freaking out about, I'm going to die because
and at that time it was so scary, right? Everybody was blowing it. Yeah.
We didn't know. And so that got me through January and lost a couple friends that I had forever. And so that was really tough. And I was also in the middle of myself going through a separation and a divorce. So it was double whammy for me. And I felt alone. What I realized was, I thought, well, I have to make everyone happy or do what's the right thing, or, you know what I mean? And I realized I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to live my life the best way I know how and be a good person. And if someone's going to judge me for something silly, let them. And I don't have any control over it. And I'm just going to.
Mel Robbins, let them.
Yeah. And I'm just going to on. And I think it was interesting to see who showed up big time and who definitely disappointed me. And it did a number. And so I ended up, talk about working out, right? I work out every day. Okay. I cannot work out. It's not the end of the world. I'm just going to get better, get healthier. I had to hold my Orange Theory membership at the time. And I ended up taking my first solo trip to Florida, brought all my visionary board stuff, and I just needed to get away, clear my head. When I was healthy again, the gym was still there and my body didn't fall apart. I thought it was going to. It never does.
Yeah.
And it's helped me in the future when I broke my foot, had surgeries, it's helped me mentally. Okay, the working out will still be there eventually, but you have to take care of yourself first and foremost, not just physically, but mentally. You have to take care of yourself. That was kind of that moment came to my head. So.
Yeah, that's where the gray area kind of helped me. Was it's not all or nothing. If I don't make it to the gym, it's not like the world is over. Or if I have something to eat that is not necessarily healthy for me, to me, that's where it was this understanding that it's okay. Give yourself forgiveness to be human and to not have a perfect world. That's, if you think about people who go through AA and stuff where it's absolute, right? That's old school. It's an old school, very masculine mentality where you literally are not afforded the option to kind of slip. And I think it's very feminine to say, I am okay with this moment and I'm going to be better next time, or I'm going to get on the other side of it. I mean, you can't be better if you're sick or there's something holding you from actually working out, as the example, but like just forgiveness and love of yourself. I think that's
all of what you
great
just
place.
said.
So that's where the gray area really helped me.
Yep. The whole gray area is about mind detox, right? That's kind of like the thing that this is dovetailing into the next part we wanted to get into is mindset detox, belief system, what you believe. If we worry about what other people think, then we're not controlling our mindset in a healthy manner. I really believe if you're nervous about a presentation and you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm going to be terrible. I'm terrible at presentations and I always screw up." Well, then yeah, you are terrible and you are going to screw up,
you're telling yourself,
right? Yeah, you're already telling your mind that, so then your mind believes it, and then you become that, right?
it's
So
much
same
better to
thing,
think
our belief
positive.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to
Talk
learn
positive.
how to shift that mindset. It's like you wake up and you go, "Oh shit!" Like, back in the day, we say, "Oh, I have a bad hair day," and then you have a freaking bad day, or you wear an outfit that you're like, "God, it just doesn't fit right." Oh, and then your entire
Yeah.
day is based on this freaking outfit. Instead, your mind gets hijacked by your mindset. And so it could be a positive or a negative thing. And so mindset detox, I think the rituals we're going to talk about next plays a role in how we can help clear our mindset. The self-talk that we have, how we speak to ourselves. I mean, you'll start realizing if you do something and you go, "Oh shit, Toni, that's so stupid." Well, why are you talking like that to yourself? Would you tell that to your best friend?
Nope.
What, would you tell your best friend that they're stupid? No. So why tell yourself, right? Let me ask you this. And I might have done this already, so you guys might say, "Toni, I know that one already." But let me ask you, first of all, cheese, list the people that you love. Give me the people that you love.
I mean, there's a long list. It starts with my
Just
family,
give like five top
obviously.
people. 5 top people you love.
My mom and dad, my children, you guys, Amber, Colt, like friends we discussed, top friends. Like those are the people who.
So those are great people, right? But you didn't include yourself. You didn't say, "I love myself."
Yeah, that's a good point.
You got a drink.
Isn't that have a drink, cheese? No.
I'm on it.
No, but somebody told me that one time, right? And I was like you, cheese. I listed off everybody else I loved, which I do love them, but I didn't start with me. Well, first of all, I love myself. So therefore I can love them, right? I could be better for the people. That's that whole analogy in the airplane. That whole mask, you bring the mask, put it on yourself so then you could serve your children or the people. Right. Yeah. Same damn concept.
So interestingly,
right?
though, I feel like rituals has escaped me. I'm starting to get into that now. I think that what happened for me was the gray area led to me being more selfish. And what do I mean by selfish? I mean, doing things that made me happy, regardless of how it might affect someone else. As an example, my ex-husband. I got to a point where I wasn't happy in my relationship. And by the way, Jason is an extraordinary man. I've mentioned this on other episodes. He is wonderful. And at the time that we got married, I believed that we were going to make it. And I believed that we were a really good couple. I was at that beautiful wedding. Many years. I mean, I felt like we were really good together. But whatever happened or transpired, I trended towards like this gray area where I was more selfish. And as an example, I spent a lot of time, I want to say 2019, just playing pickleball. This was something I love to do religiously. was at forsaking all others. It was like literally he wants to do this, and I'm trending towards playing pickleball on the weekends during the week, and regardless of Jason and the kids and others, friends who I kind of fell by the wayside to my pickleball friends, the friends I'd met that way. That's where I was spending my time. So as you talk about rituals, and I think about how there was a catalyst for my going from black and white and right and wrong to me would have been, no, you don't just think about yourself, but trending towards this gray area. There are things about the gray area that are amazing. There are things about black and white that are amazing. I think in some ways now I'm getting to the point where I want to be a better person. That's not just about me as me being a best friend to myself and being kind to myself, but balancing that moderation where I'm kind to myself, I'm kind to others. Black and white is right. Gray is right. Pickleball is great, but I'm also going to spend time with my non-pickleball friends.
In moderation. Yeah.
All of it is all coming together. But do I have a ritual for that? I'm trending that way, but it's been a scramble. My organization has not been on point, even though I love a clean house, organized drawers. It's not been something that I've planned. It's been something that's just kind of evolved, if that makes sense. Versus where I see in the two of you, where you had the cup club and you had your rituals and you planned and you had the display and you held each other accountable. That is remarkable. In some ways I missed out because I just kind of have lip skidded through life trying to make
We all have our journey though,
sense.
Right? We all have our journey that brings us to a certain, look, that path, you're coming in to this path. Now we're on this podcast, right? You're a part of this ride with us, right? It doesn't matter how you get here, you slid in the right place. So,
oh yeah. I'm proud of where I am. I will say there's no doubt in my mind that I'm proud of. I've learned the lessons. I feel like I'm a better human making the choices I've made, and maybe in some cases being ashamed of what I did, like latching on and growing from that. I definitely feel like I'm in a better place to make good decisions and learn from it. I'm very big. I'm listening to this other podcast right now, and I'm hoping at some point we could interview her, but she has this podcast called Plucked Up, and it's all about kind of almost like that moment where you made a mistake or you in your business career more. That's what I feel like this is more personal. It's how we plucked up. And I feel like I'm evolving at all times. And now I'm more proud of all the information that I've had and I've grown from and I've learned from and who I've evolved to. And it's not forgiveness. From plucked up, they say forgiveness almost comes from a point of authority and I'm better than you. It's more mercy. It's a merciful perspective where I have mercy towards myself and others. Does that make sense? And I'm proud of it.
Brene Brown has a TEDx. It's like a 20-minute on shame. And all of us, I don't care what anybody says, we all have shame in some sort of time period in our life. We do something, we have shame about it. And in order to grow past the shame, to evolve, we have to talk about it, right? And as we talk about it, shame just doesn't win anymore. And you're evolving and you're moving forward. And that's what she talks about in this. When I listened to that TEDx, I literally cried when I listened to it, out of proud of myself.
Like almost like a discovery.
Discovered that I am going in the right direction. I am doing these things and I can relate to that. And I cried in an emotional, proud cry because I can relate. And the more we talk about the things that we've done, whether it's a failure of ours or an experience we went through that damaged us in some way, the more we talk about it, that is how you win. You win by being vulnerable, the power of vulnerability, the power of sharing your story because other people can hear. That's what this podcast is about, sharing our story. And we just evolve each time we get past a hurdle.
Right.
It's better for us to do that. And so you talking about this is one step forward in your journey, right?
And can we talk about, the ritual part, because I forgot to mention, not only was I recovering from COVID, going through a divorce, I retired. So now talk about
that's amazing.
What do I do? Right? Like my whole life.
Don't rub that in. That part, don't rub in.
Well,
talking to two of us who are still embedded in the employment world.
In the workforce. Yeah.
We love our jobs, but let's just be real.
No, but we love you, Sue. We love you no matter what.
Yeah, we do.
These are first world problems, but let me tell you, I was trying to think in my head, okay, what am I going to do now every morning, every day. So after that month or so of recovering, I got back. So I know I don't have to get up early, right? Because I'm retired. I could sleep in, whatever, but that's not my mindset. So my mindset, and I explained this, or I actually gave some feedback to a friend who recently is not working. And they were like, I don't know what to do with my life because you have all this time. And so what I had to do is make a mindset change. Okay, I'm going to get up at 6:30 every morning. I think I was getting up for Orange Theory at 6. And I think I changed my class to like, okay, I'll take the hour later class. So I get up at 6:30, get there for 7:30 class. So nowadays I get up at 6:30 no matter what. And then 2 days I get up at 5:30. And it doesn't matter if I just flew home from a trip and landed at midnight, I am still up at 6:30. And I have a ritual because my classes don't start till like 8:15, 8:30. So I get up, I make my tea, I get Hank up. Of course, he needs to eat. I get dressed. I do my little daily word reading. I sit in my ladies' lounge. This is where I am right now. I throw some lip gloss on, whatever, meditate. And I do that every single morning. And that helps me get my day going. Am I in bed sometimes? 7:30, hanging out in bed, watching TV with Hank? Yeah. But I just start that day early. And because I know if I don't, and if I didn't get into a ritual or a habit, my life would be chaotic. And so having this ritual really sets the precedence for the whole day and my week. And if I have to take a nap one day, one afternoon, whatever, who cares? But I don't know. It helps to be structured and maybe I don't know how your mornings go or whatever, but I always feel like if you start off early in the morning with your rituals. Like my one friend who she quit work to move. And I said, well, you have a dog. Get up at early, decent time, get your coffee, take your dog for a walk. That's your ritual.
Make it your ritual. Yeah.
Right. And so
it was a lot easier when the kids had dropped them off at school.
Yeah,
so I'd have to get up and then I could swing back by the gym. Now suddenly I've got like more freedom and I'm still getting up about the same time, but I'm not necessarily honoring that.
You're holding yourself as much accountable.
To do it. Get back into that. Yeah.
Get this really swing of things. For me, the ritual obviously is, and you probably know about this already. Both of you probably know about this, but like for me, my dad was military. And so you get up, you make your freaking bed. Like,
that too.
That's the first thing. That's the first accomplishment in your life. But so, that there was a guy, an Admiral, William McRaven. I think he did a commencement speech at the University of Austin, Texas. And he talked about the first goddamn thing you do is you get up and you make your damn bed. That's your first accomplishment in your life. It's so effing important, right? And so it's a habit. So, I get up. I have like this ritual. I get up, turn off my alarm. And sometimes I'm up before my alarm. It's just like most of the time I'm up before my alarm. And then I grab my journal and I write in my journal, my gratitudes in the morning. And, I had always I've talked about this in other podcasts, but I've always done a kind of a journal anyway, since my mid to late 20s. But when I left my ex in 2011, I started writing in a gratitude journal, and writing in that gratitude journal helped my mindset. I felt a difference within 30 days. It's kind of like you brush your teeth. You just have to hold yourself accountable. You put that journal on your nightstand and you see it, just like you see your toothbrush in that little container in your bathroom. You see it and you brush your teeth. So I get up and I write. I wrote 10 gratitudes. I chose to write 10 gratitudes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Now I do 3, but I did 10 for the first 30 days. And then after that, I started writing 3. But I would write 3 gratitudes, right? So I start off my day in the morning with 3 gratitudes, or 10 at the time. And then I would go on with my day. And at night, I find any little thing that I found joy in. I call it magic. And I'd write magics, what happened in my day. I would write that. But I also had crystals, Sue, you love crystals too. And I'll hold a crystal beads that are the stones. It's an onyx, or there's different like little stones that I choose to hold. And then I would do my prayer for the people that I love in my life. You guys are in that prayer every day. And I would do a prayer. And then I would end my night and go to bed. So that's a ritual I always do. Sometimes I've seen when she stayed the night a few times, I'm falling asleep. Then I wake up, I'm like, oh shit, I got to finish my journal, right? Because I would even do it like when I would go out with like celebrating, like when I went to Cabo and when I went to Costa Rica, that journal went with me. I still wrote every single day and night, my journal because it's a ritual. It's kind of like my church, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
is my goal. The first 30 days I started doing it, I started noticing like small shit, like that hummingbird would come around, that same hummingbird would come around to my hummingbird feeder. Or I would notice, oh, look at that little praying mantis over there. Small things, or a little old couple holding hands, things like that. I would notice that kind of stuff. If your mind drifts off to something that's not healthy, you're able to pull your mind out of it quicker with that whole mindset thing. It helps with mindset tremendously.
Hey, remember, speaking of crystals, remember we counted all the crystals when you were here?
Yes. Oh my God. How many do you have now? I have a ton too. I have to walk
Like,
through my house.
I think
I
it was
have some crystals
100,
here too.
wasn't it 130 something? Now it's probably
I don't
160.
know, but I have two sitting. I have two
I
sitting
have
right
my,
here on my.
look at my rose quartz. I love the sphere. I love it. No, I love that you journal and that you do your gratitude. But yes, making the
Mhm.
bed, I do that too because I've read somewhere it's very healthy to make your bed. And I feel uncomfortable if my bed is not made.
No, I know. I
I
can't
feel like
stand it.
uncomfortable if my house is not organized.
All
So
that
like
too.
to me,
That too. Tidiness.
making
Yeah.
my bed in the morning just kind of gives me, like, you hear about this, like it's you've achieved one thing that day and it kind of catapults the rest of the day.
Yep.
I will say that like my house is a little bit more organized and clean when my kids aren't here, but like I kind of embrace the mess too. So that's where you like toggle back and forth between, the black and white and the gray.
Sometimes you have
It's
to let
just
go.
a
Yeah.
theme in my life that's intertwined. And I definitely feel there's financial organization. There's my house. There's so many different ways that I organize, and it makes me feel more like I can exhale if I know that everything's in its place.
Absolutely.
But there are times definitely when I let myself slip a little bit. So I'm kind of this, I don't know, in between. I'm in between.
Well, I mean, like we said, that whole self-love thing, right? There's a time where you could procrastinate, then it gets unhealthy. But if you're not procrastinating,
Right.
like Stu, you mentioned, sometimes you sleep in a little bit more, but then you get back on track
Take
No,
that
again,
nap.
right?
I
Yeah.
don't sleep in. No, I never sleep.
No, I'm
No,
just
she gets that.
saying.
She gets
I
the
mean, I'm
nap
just saying you
in or
get off
something.
track.
If I
Yeah,
have
you
to
get
take,
your.
no. Like my whole thing is I have to be up.
Like she's, I do not.
No, I don't sleep in. I mean, Sundays sleep in, but that's till 7. But no, I don't sleep in.
I'm just saying like that, right? Like a
I
little
get
bit
up.
off the cycle.
No, I'm not. I never. I mean, it doesn't. My friends are like, "Wait, you just flew home at midnight, and why are you at this class?" I'm like, "Because I have to get up." But like later on, because I got up so early and started my day so early, if I'm in bed early, I don't feel guilty about being in bed early. I don't feel guilty about taking a nap because I know I got up early every morning. There's no opportunity in my mind. This is what gets me going and starts my day with my rituals. You know what I mean? So no, I don't.
I saw something on Facebook. Somebody posted, are you that type of person when you go on a trip and you come home, do you unpack the suitcase and put everything away or do you leave it for the next morning? And I'm like, I freaking unpack that shit. And it
Oh
goes
my
well
God.
back. I cannot go to sleep without that.
Same.
I'll tell you right now, I am both. I am like that. Sometimes I do, like everything's unpacked and perfect. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time when I go on the trip, everything is unpacked and put away. But like on the way back, it's more hit or miss. It's crazy. Like I'm this dichotomy of both.
That's funny. No,
I just have to.
I have to unpack. I'm not.
So you're a Leo like me. We're like set in our ways that way, you know?
So no, what's a Scorpio? Scorpio's just
we have to look it up. We have to look it up.
Yeah, we have to.
I'm a water sign. We're just going to go with the wave.
Like Bruce Lee says, be like water, right?
You know what the funny thing is when I come home from trips,
ride the wave where it takes me.
So Hank, he's excited to see me. So I have to tell my sitter sometimes, hey, don't drop him off right away. I have to unpack because otherwise when he comes home and I haven't unpacked yet, I'm running around unpacking laundry, this, and that. And he gets so cranky. All he wants to do.
He wants your attention.
He just wants my attention. He wants to lay in bed and snuggle and watch Bravo. And he does not want.
And you feel guilty if you can't do that right away.
I do. It's awful.
I love that.
It's awful. But I'm sorry, buddy. I got to unpack. I know your mom's like, type in.
Give me one more hour. One more.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a pattern with me. It literally comes down to sometimes I want to be lazy or stay home. Sometimes I want to go out and have fun with my friends. Everything's kind of like this mix. Sometimes I wake up early. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go to the gym. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. There's the gray and the black and white. So who knows? I'm a mess.
No.
Happy mess.
We're all different. And it's
we all are
okay.
built differently. As long as we find our path back, right, to where it's not unhealthy, right? If it's unhealthy and we every day we're losing track of stuff, I mean, come on, we're human. We
Yeah,
can't be
kindness.
so harsh to ourselves. Yeah, kind to ourselves.
I'm
Yeah.
so attractive to humor and kindness. I think those are my two things that really matter. And that means I need to extend at least the kindness, right? I can't promise humor, but I can definitely extend kindness to others. And I think that's where I've evolved is that matters to me. And I want to be that person, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. That's the whole idea of how we're all just evolving and we're figuring our way, right? That's what honestly this podcast is really about,
Yeah.
us discovering ourselves more. Sue and I just talked about our last podcast that just posted on Tuesday was about, I couldn't believe the stuff that we discovered, and we've known each other for, a couple decades plus. And we're like, holy crap, the same things in common, right? We had good some things in common we already knew, but like going far back, we were just like shocked, right? So yeah.
That's awesome.
So let's see what we can jump down to, like affirmations and things that actually that hit home for us, right? Certain things that we might say that helps carry us through. Peace is my success, right? Like when I find peace in myself, in the environment that I'm in, what kind of things do you say in your mind? Affirmations to get you through it. Some people say never give up. Like, I used to have never give up on this little metal thing on my shoe when I was running. On the other side of it was more like a safety ID that, because when I went running, I never carried anything with me, right? So it would have my information, my address, and then my closest contact to somebody in my life. So I think I had Chantel on there. And then on the top of it, it says never give up. So when I tie my shoe before I went on my run, I would read never give up. So it was kind of like an affirmation that I told myself. So do you guys have any specific ones
I
that you
like,
find that
I
help you?
like, I like the one, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. What is it? I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm champagne or whatever that funny one is. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I
how
love
I
Yeah.
feel.
that. Yeah,
I don't need everyone to get me. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I don't need
yeah.
everyone to like me. I don't need everyone to want to be my friend or be happy for me. And so that's why my table has gotten smaller over the years. And I'm fine with that. I'm good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like that one. What about you, Cheese?
I don't
Do you have any
know.
like
I
little
think like
affirmations?
the mantra that I always tell myself is choose happy. And I've shared this before. You don't know happy if you don't, or joy if you don't experience challenges in life. And
Hmm.
so I embrace the challenges because I think of those as like a reminder of the other side of this. And just loving up on this challenge is the joy that comes when you can appreciate both sides.
Hmm.
So choosing happy, but when I say that, I think in this whole concept of this podcast, this is more about, I don't know, I feel like that's more selfish as I'm thinking through this. It's selfish of me to think choose happy. Sometimes choosing happy might be to the detriment of someone else. So I don't really know that that's the mantra I want to live by. I think I want to think through this after listening to all of our stories about what I want to choose to live by so that it
Hmm.
encompasses not just what helps me survive, but also how can I be a better person for others in their
Hmm.
journey. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Well, all I
To
know
be
is
to be continued.
yeah, but I think that's called imposter syndrome, right? When you feel guilty about where you're at. For example, I working at this company, and it feels like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because it's too good. Everything's been so good. So
And
no,
you're a
you fucking
poser.
deserve this.
You're
Yeah. You fucking deserve this,
imposer.
Tony. Right? No. I
Oh,
tell myself, you fucking deserve this. You know the fucking shit you've been through. No, you deserve this. Quit
First.
talking to yourself. It's a mindset challenge, right? It's like two people. The angel and the devil, but I do have that. And then I say, no, stop. You deserve this, and enjoy it and embrace it, and don't feel guilty about it. Right. So I hear what you're saying, Cheese, but at the same time, it's how you look at it. Right. If you can be a better person by choosing happy and choosing to be good to yourself, then you can be even better for others. Right. That whole
well,
thing
it's
again.
combining. I think it's combining that choosing happy and having a choosing happy help me foster happiness. I don't know.
Yeah.
what it is,
it's if it,
I want to think,
yeah,
I want
if
to
you're
think on
doing
it because
something,
like, as I said, like there's been moments in my life that I kind of trended towards more of a selfish way. And I want to be more generous with my mantras, if that makes sense. So I don't feel like I'm going hard on myself. I'm just evolving.
No, exactly. What I was going to try to say here a few minutes ago was that sometimes if you're choosing happy that's impacting others in a selfish way where you're neglecting people, that's
I've done
one thing,
that.
right?
I've done
Okay.
that. I've done,
Okay,
you
so
know,
owning it,
so
right? Owning that.
yeah,
Yeah, owning that and
right,
recognizing it is evolving, right?
right.
That's great. But if it's not impacting and doing anything to harm or neglecting people that need you in a different way, then that's one thing, right? But yeah, that's what life is
Absolutely. But
about, evolving.
I guess my point is, I think you're being very gracious to me. I think my point is, it's good to realize that maybe there have been times when I have used that mantra to my
Uh-huh.
benefit. And I think it's okay for me to recognize the fact that I need to evolve. I need to grow. I need to be a
Yeah,
better person. And I'm
that's the
okay with
part
it.
right there.
I honestly, it's like the balance, right? I don't want to feel so down on myself but I want to definitely grow and feel like the choices I'm making are better choices than I've made in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think recognizing that is growth in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So,
Thanks.
what are your quick pick me ups? What do you think when you feel like you're spiraling? What are the things that you do? For me, music, you know, music
Yeah.
Same.
gets me up. That's an instant 0 to 10. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Music,
Absolutely. It's the one thing you can do. Like, I
instant.
challenge people to think of other things where you control, you're in control of this. Like, I can't make someone else smile at me if I'm smiling at them and that makes me kind of disheartened or whatever. It's the one thing you can control. I'm like, I'm in a funk. I'm going to put on my favorite song right now, or
Yeah.
the song that really gives me, and I love playing like games along the lines of like, okay, like you want to be a DJ and get everybody out on the dance floor, or you want to, like, I love that kind of like, road trip game kind of thing. Like, think of like the types of music that will do certain things. Like, you're an athlete and you're about to go take on someone. What song do you get to like get you going, right? Like that sort of thing. There's so many different mood altering things that music represents that we can control to
Absolutely.
have an
Yeah.
outcome. And so 100%, I don't know that there's anything else that does that. I mean, can I grab a glass of wine? Yeah, but I don't think that's the healthiest.
That's sedating you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like,
think
that's not the healthiest.
I think we all can
No,
agree music is our go-to for all three of us.
that's
Yep, 100%.
absolutely 100%. Music is
I would love to
everything.
hear I would love to hear other suggestions that you can control that like literally can bring you out of a funk, because that music is the one that definitely lands for me. It definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we went really deep in this podcast, and vulnerability is so key. But
For sure.
having a ritual, like what kind of mantras can I have? What kind of things can I go through, like the music, to get myself, what kind of accountability we're going to, what to do, right? So,
Yeah.
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 So tag us in your rituals and your mindset shifts at
Love that.
what's
Love that idea.
WSAYT. We're proud of your
What's
growth and it's a beautiful thing to witness. So keep shining, our queens and kings.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, follow. Let's go.
Yeah. And podcast is Spotify, YouTube. You can find our full versions of all our podcasts on there. And I know Cheese and I were talking the other day. We're looking at getting on Amazon, Apple, and iHeartRadio so we can get into a more of an audience. And like I said, we had like 20 or 30, and now we're past 50 followers. We're excited. Let's try to get to 100, right? So
Yeah, I mean, we're still relatively new, and we're doing this
yes,
organically versus we're not paying for
June, July, August, 3
subscribers.
months in, guys, 3 months in,
Yeah,
right? Let's not be hard on
relatively
ourselves,
new.
right?
Crazy.
Yeah, like, follow, subscribe, share. Like I said, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook,
What's that?
Instagram, X, TikTok, you name it, we're there.
We appreciate all the support.
That now what you hear is not a
There you go.
test.
Rapping to the beat. Me, the groove. How's it go?
And my
Try to
friends are
move
going to
your
try
feet.
to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Jen, and I'd like to say hello
To the
to the
black,
black,
to the white, to the red,
and the brown, the purple,
the
and
purple,
yellow.
and yellow. But first you gotta bang, bang, boogie to the boogie, say up, jump the boogie to the bang, bang.
We've subjected our audience to this before, so Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
love
okay.
you guys. I love you guys.
That's okay. I love
right.
having fun. This is a fun podcast. Ladies,
Yeah.
have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
guys.
Bye.